These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Breaking news is I'm trying to leave the house and Sam is not home and I'm showering. And of course it would happen now. The Boston Celtics have extended Payton Pritchard to a 4-year, $30 million contract extension. The math comes out to $7.5 million average annual value, which is a little bit under what we kind of expected him to get. I think we both kind of said maybe 8 to 10, and he ended up getting 7.5. But I'm surprised it's 4 years. I'm not sure the exact details of how long he could have extended for, but 4 years locking up a guy at what is under the MLE for a guy who's going to be a backup point guard and a primary piece off your bench, like that's really good value, regardless of what you think of Payton Pritchard. As you know, if you think he's great, if you think he sucks, like he is a solid bench player, and to get him for 4 years at that price is just objectively good value.
Yeah, so this is great value for a guy like Pritchard that we've talked about so many times, who has proven himself every single time he's gotten an opportunity. He's been nothing but solid for the Celtics when they trot him out there. He does get targeted on defense every once in a while, but he's very solid. He's poised. He doesn't really make a ton of like dumb young guy mistakes. He is 25. Yeah. And now he becomes the 7th player in his draft class to be extended. So that's pretty good for him, especially considering he played like no minutes last year. It was a career low for him. And it was behind 3 strong point guards. So it makes sense to why he was out of the rotation. And you had to know that this was coming. After the reports trickled out, it only makes sense because Brad Stevens did everything he could, moved everyone he could to make sure that there was room for Pritchard in this season's rotation, right? Like he wasn't going to let him rot away on the bench for another season. That just wasn't going to happen.
Apparently not. He was either going to do that or trade him. And I was honestly surprised that they didn't trade him. Were you expecting a trade?
Request.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was expecting a trade. I was kind of shocked. It makes sense once they did the rest of the moves and how the offseason unfolded that they did keep him. But like, if I had asked you 4 months ago if Payton Pritchard would still be on the team, you'd have said no. Correct?
Yeah, definitely not. Because it didn't seem like anything was changing. When we found out that he wanted to be traded, Smart was still on the team. Yeah. Brogdon was still on the team. There was no hint that Drew Holiday would be a member of the Celtics. There was no indication that Porzingis was coming around to Boston either, except you. You were like, hey, maybe they'll go get Porzingis, and then it happened.
Made too much sense.
Pritchard is somebody I'm really excited to see this season as we roll into preseason game number 1 tonight. I'm excited to see what kind of minutes he gets, how he's going to look, because everybody's been talking about Pritchard. Pritchard has been a huge talking point out of camp. He looks ready. He's ready to rip people's throats out, whatever Sam Hauser said. And
out for blood,
been there,
is what he said.
The vibes around Pritchard are very high.
Yes, they are. Everyone's very excited for Payton Pritchard. Everyone is like, saying he's going to have this great season, and he's going to have to play real minutes. I mean, Payton Pritchard is one of the reasons I feel like the Celtics should consider starting Derek White, because they have Payton Pritchard off the bench and he'll be able to sort of man that guard rotation while Al Horford mans the big rotation. That said, I think Al Horford will probably get the nod. I mean, we won't get a great indicator tonight since the Sixers decided to bench literally everybody on the roster. But I do think Pritchard is going to see a decent chunk of minutes specifically tonight, but also throughout the season. For the Celtics, especially with Drew Holiday in town. It might seem a bit backwards. You bring in an extra guard, it opens up minutes for Pritchard, but they need all the depth they can get. And Payton Pritchard is he the best player off their bench? Sam, do you think he's their best bench player right now? No. Outside of White/Horford?
Okay,
obviously.
maybe.
Yeah, no. I'm
he
talking
might be
non-top 6 player.
New FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV.
I think Pritchard is just in this weird situation because we didn't see him really at all last season unless somebody was hurt.
Yeah.
Yet, everybody here has faith in him. Brad Stevens obviously has faith in him. The team extends him with intention that he's going to get minutes, according to Woj. That's what's in the article. He says the deal, which is fully guaranteed, comes with an expectation that Pritchard will have a more significant role off of Boston's bench this season. So they got this guy who they barely played last year, and they're like, all right, here's some money. Come play some extra minutes, and we trust you. And again, he's given them no reason not to trust him. Pritchard is probably like top 5 guys in the league that you can be like, oh yeah, you haven't played in 2 weeks. Come on, we trust you. Get in there. You're going to give us good minutes because he's just been nothing but consistent. Another tidbit from the Woj article: Pritchard has shot 42.6 on catch and shoot threes since entering the NBA in 2020, according to Second Spectrum. That ranks him in the league's top 15 amongst players with 300 plus attempts in that span. In the final game of last season, Pritchard made and assisted on 17 3-pointers, tied for the most by any player ever. Literally any guy ever. And also, little stat, he joined James Harden as the only players with a triple-double and 9 threes in a game ever.
Yeah.
So maybe he's going to pretend to get fat now. He's under contract.
Well,
he just signed an extension. Now it's time to request a trade. That's what Harden would do.
Well, maybe we don't hope for that, but we'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, look, Payton Pritchard is in this very weird spot where some Celtics fans are all in on him. Some Celtics fans are lukewarm. Some Celtics fans are just like, oh, it's fine. I don't think he'll play much. Pritchard's going to play a lot this year. Like, Pritchard is going to have a significant role on this Celtics team. Pritchard was a big part of what they did when they went to the finals. He played significant minutes that year. He was a big part of what they did, his rookie season. He's played a lot of minutes then. Like, Pritchard is, weirdly enough, a mainstay on this Celtics team. Like, he has been there throughout all the changes. Like the one guy who everyone was like, oh, the Celtics are probably going to trade this guy, is still on the team. Like, the one guy everyone was like, oh yeah, he probably won't be around. Psych, you thought, still here.
How many Payton Pritchard trade videos did we do this summer?
A lot. We did
zillion.
A lot. We did.
How many Payton Pritchard trade articles have you written? A zillion.
A lot. And he's still
it's that
here.
21 song where it's just like, how many feelings you got? A lot. How many articles you write? A lot. How many trades you talk about? A lot. That's Pritchard. That's his whole time, this whole summer was just like he's getting traded. Foregone conclusion.
We talked about this the other week. Like, only 3 players are left since Brad Stevens took over as the GM of the Celtics: Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Payton Pritchard. Like, they either really like him or no one else does. And I can't imagine that nobody else around the entire league likes Payton Pritchard enough to take him in a trade. This is really good value for a guy who's going to play.
That's the thing. That's one of the big standouts. This is a good contract for just about everybody in the NBA. $7.5 million is less than Daniel Tice makes, who we would all happily take back. He is somebody that's going to give the Celtics real minutes off the bench. He's going to have some responsibility. You'd imagine that he's going to thrive in it because he has never not thrived. And he's only making $7.5 million for the next 4 seasons, not including this one. That's 5 years of Pritchard on a good contract for you. If trades are a thing.
Yeah, other players who make $7.5 million. Kevon Looney got a $7.5 million per year contract extension recently. Caleb Martin makes $6.8 mil. So that's another example right there. Chetty Osman 6'7", Jayshawn Tate 6'5", Paul Reed 7'7", TJ McConnell 8'7". Like Gary Payton 6'8'7". Like, high level role players get around this mark, and the Celtics trust Payton Pritchard to be that. So I'm excited for the extension. Like I said, I think it's great value. I know you're hyped about it too. Let us know what you guys think in the comments about the Payton Pritchard extension. Hopefully he'll get extensive minutes in the preseason. We'll get to see what he can do a little bit, but I'm hyped. I know you're hyped. Let us know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yes, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this now, make sure you're here later for pregame. It's back officially, 5:30. Jack and I will be here. He'll be at the Garden. I'll be in my room. And we'll be talking about the Celtics preseason opener against Philly, so come around for that. You can also find us on audio platforms, Spotify and Apple. And you can follow us, leave 5-star reviews there. Social media at How About Them C's. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. You can leave us a like there, and you can follow Jack at Jack Simone NBA on Twitter. He'll be at the game today. You'll get little like, hey, look at the court pictures from Jack, and you can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. I'm doing halftime hot takes for Celtics Blog. That is a section that's made for me. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.